Hello, friends. Welcome to all in this online audio video lecture series or audio video lecture. In last lecture, we saw the lesson values in life, but it is not completed. Today, we continue the lesson. Please see the page number 117 and the last paragraph. I would like to you to study that man. I would like you to study that man. I would like you better to be that man, because from the lower point of view, it doesn't pay to be obsessed by the desire of wealth for wealth's sake. And Rudyard Kipling wanted to study that man who is obsessed with the desire of wealth, and he is only concerned with the wealth and wealth for wealth's sake. If more wealth is necessary to you for purposes not your own, use your left hand to acquire it, but keep your right for your proper work in life. It means that you earn not more money, but the money only you have to need only for the betterment of your life. But on the other hand, you live the happy and prosperous life. If you are if you employ both arms in that game, you will be in danger of stooping, in danger also of losing your soul. And when a man engaged his right and left hands for collecting money, then it will be a danger for the future life of that man. But in spite of everything, you may succeed, you may be successful, you may acquire enormous wealth. But in spite of everything, you may succeed. If if you collect the money, it doesn't mean that you become succeed in your life. Success is not depends on the money or the wealth that has been collected by the man, but the success is depends on the life of man, how he behave throughout his life, and how he understand the life of or the sorrow of others, or how he indulged in the joy of others. In which case, I warn you that you stand in grave danger of being spoken or written of and pointed out as a smart man, and in which case I warn you that you stand in grave danger, and such a man finally in a suffering from a grave danger and written off and pointed out as a smart man, and that is one of the most terrible calamities that can overtake a sane civilized white man in our empire society. And in today's life, those who have more and more money, then the people called that man a smart man, but that smartness is not liable or reliable for lifelong. That smartness is transitory, and that one of the most terrible calamities. It is the very terrible calamities, and the man who have more and more money in this modern world can overtake the sane and a very civilized man. But finally he fails in life. They say youth is the season of hope, ambition, and uplift. That the last word youth needs is an exhortation to be cheerful. Some of you here know, and I remember, that youth can be a season of great depression, despondencies, doubts, and waverings. The worst because they seem to be peculiar to ourselves and incommunicable to our fellows. Some people says about the youthness. Youth is the season of hope, ambition, and upliftment. But in this modern era, youth can be a season of great depression, despondencies, doubts, loneliness, and waverings. The worse because of that, they seem to be peculiar to ourselves and incommunicable to our fellows. Because because the youth has no time to speak with their fellow beings in a very respectful or in a very respectful manner. There is a certain darkness into which the soul of the young man sometimes descends, a horror of desolation, abandonment, and realized worthlessness, which is one of the most real of the hells in which we are compelled to walk. And Rudyard Kipling has worried about the youth because the youth are walking in the horror of desolation, abandonment, and the youths in our country are in a danger zone because they only engaged in collecting more and more money, and money makes the life of that youth in a very dangerous manner. But they don't know about that darkness, about that danger. They also internally horrified, and they also becomes lose their soul. I know of what I speak. This is due to a variety of causes, the chief of which is the egoism of the human animal itself. And why it happened? It is only the egoism of that ego of that man or youth, ego. But I can tell you for your comfort that the chief cure for it is to interest yourself, to lose yourself in some issue, not personal to yourself, in another man's trouble or preferably another man's joy. And Rudyard Kipling also suggests the youth of this country, youth of the country, that They relieve or they take up the ego from their mind, and they also understand the another man's trouble, and they also enjoy the happiness of the another man's joy. But if the dark hour comes, dark hour does not vanish, as sometimes it doesn't. If the black cloud will not lift, as sometimes it will not, let me tell you again for your comfort that there are many liars in the world, but there are no liars like our own sensations. To understand the sensation of the other man, to understand the sorrow of the other fellow beings is more important for living a happy life. The despair and the horror mean nothing, because there is for you nothing irremediable, nothing ineffaceable, and nothing irrecoverable in anything you may have said or thought or done. The despair and the horror mean nothing, because there is for you nothing irremediable. It means that when the sorrow or when the badness struck in the mind of the youth, it cannot be recoverable, it cannot be effaceable. If for your reason you cannot believe or have not been taught to believe in the infinite mercy of heaven, which has made us all and will take care we do not go far astray, at least believe that you are not yet sufficiently important to be taken too seriously by the powers above us or beneath us. In other words, take anything and everything seriously except yourself. And Rudyard Kipling also suggests the people or the youth of the country that they are not more serious for collecting more and more money and more wealth, but they serious only for their betterment of the life, how to live their life in a happy mood, how to understand the grief and sorrow of the other fellow beings, other human beings. I regret that I notice certain signs of irrelevant laughter when I allude to the word smartness. I have no message to deliver, but if I had a message to deliver to a university, which I love, to the young man who has the future of their country to mold, I would say with all the force at my command, do not be smart. He also suggests that in the concluding part of the chapter or the passage, he noticed certain signs of irrelevant laughter, that is, the word smartness. Do not be smart, he suggests. Do not be smart means do not be smart means not be smart only by collecting money, and he delivers the message to his university because he loves his university. If I were not a doctor of this university with a deep interest in its discipline And if I did not hold the strongest views on that reprehensible form of amusement known as rushing, I would say that whenever and wherever you find one of your dear little playmates showing signs of smartness in his work, his talk, or his play, take him tenderly by the hand, by both hands, by the back of the neck, if necessary, and lovingly, playfully, but firmly lead him to a knowledge of higher and more interesting things. And lastly, Rudyard Kipling also suggests the youth that not be smart means do not be smart means the smart as far as the money or the wealth is concerned. And when he also suggests that when the youth meets with his fellow or with his friends or with his playmates, showing signs of smartness in his work, in his talk, in his play, take him tenderly by the hand, by both hands. Take his both hands and by the back of the neck, if necessary, and lovingly, playfully, but firmly lead him to a knowledge of higher, and communicate with the fellow beings, not with the wealth and not with the money and the smartness, but with the higher knowledge and interesting things which are beneficial for the future betterment of the next generation. It means that for the betterment of the life, money or the wealth is not more important as the people gives importance in this modern age. Money is important, but it has a limit. Money is a medium only to run the life securely. Lastly, the Rudyard Kipling told the youth that don't go or don't walk with money. You also gain the higher knowledge and interesting things in their life. Okay, thanks friend. The here the lesson is over.